So, you heard about the deadly Tesla Cybertruck explosion over at the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas?
I have heard about it, but I have no idea what the ins and outs are of it.
So, essentially, I'm reading the article right now. I'll just read out loud. A Tesla Cybertruck exploded and burst into flames Wednesday morning just outside the entrance of Trump International Hotel in Las Vegas, killing a person inside the vehicle and injuring others standing nearby.
I know the guy was inside of it.
Yeah, he was inside, and the fireworks you see in the video, there's fireworks that start going off, then they start all exploding, then the Cybertruck's engulfed in flames,
Do you
and then
think?
there's like three explosions.
Do you think it was unintentional?
So the FBI did say that they think that it was intentional.
Oh,
At first they were saying, oh, they don't know if the guy knew that the fireworks would go off in the back. But I think they found that he did know. But this was unrelated to the stuff that happened in New Orleans. So, but both of them went on the Turo app and rented a car to cause harm to. Yeah.
I feel bad for the people on Turo.
So, by the way, Turo is helping them out as well with giving information, and Elon is also helping them out. So apparently, the guy was from Colorado and he drove all the way down to Vegas, rented the truck, drove down to Vegas, and Elon gave him all that information, and Elon also confirmed that it wasn't the truck malfunctioning.
I know he doesn't want his stock to plummet.
Yeah, right. But, I mean, that's the thing. What do you think? Like, Tesla, actually, what do you think about even Elon having that information to share to the FBI and such?
I'm not surprised he has that information because I mean, you could hack into like any car, any vehicle like in the world. There's actually a video.
But do you think he should have that information?
Well, I mean, you're signing a contract at the end of the day where he's collecting data. Like when we get our iPhones and you download an app, it's like, oh, this is gonna share information, and we're like, oh, we don't care, boom. And then at the same hand, we're like, oh, I don't like how they're collecting information on us. We kind of let it happen. But one thing I think is interesting is that actually, no, I don't think it's the same argument. I was going to say it's interesting that he gave the information willingly, but I think it's a different argument than what I was thinking about some other thing.
Well, because the other people on the other side would say, wait, they have that information. So Elon can pull up any person, including me, I have a Tesla, my navigation information for the last day, see that I went to work and back. Is that something?
I mean, your iPhone is the same thing. Your iPhone is the same thing. Facebook collects that information off. We live in a world where information about everyone or anyone is crucial. And it goes to ads, right?
So we should settle.
Settle for what? Oh, settle that they collect your information.
Constant surveillance.
Well, we let it happen. People.
No.
What?
We let it happen, or they let it happen, and we just settle.
I think they forced it upon us, kind of, and we're just like, okay, at the cost of convenience, right? Because think about it, like AirTags are like very precise. Apple can pull up that information. Who says they can't? They're the one that made that product, right? Same with the Cybertruck, and I'm pretty sure like Tesla probably isn't the only one that has information like that. Like, think about the OnStar. Like, does that work the same way where you press the button and it's like, oh, we know where you're located, we can help you out.
So you're fine with letting OnStar and Tesla and Apple have that information?
See, it's not that I'm fine or not. It's what they're doing with that information, right?
Like if they're keeping it private?
It's like if I tell you a secret about me, right? I tell you something personal about me, right? I can trust it at the end of the day. I'm like, hey, this is my boy. I trust him. We're close. I know he's not going to say another word to anyone else, right? But what's stopping a corporation that doesn't know anything about us except what they're collecting about us, right? What's to say that they won't share information, right? Or they're sell this.
That's what Elon just did.
Yeah, but I feel like maybe it's a circumstance thing, right? Like, oh, in the circumstance of an explosion happening, right, we need to investigate. I feel like that's a decent enough reason, right? What if it was a missing persons case, right? I think this sets precedent because then if Elon Musk or whoever whichever company doesn't divulge information, it's like, well, they did it for an explosion. Why can't you do it for a missing persons
So
case?
let me ask you then:
Yeah,
if Elon gets that information and sells it to advertisers, are you okay with that?
I'm not okay with that. But that's the thing, though. You have to read the fine print.
So let me finish. So
Yes.
you're okay with Elon having that information to give to the FBI. There's costs with storing that information, collecting that information. So you're fine with him when it benefits you, but you're not fine with it when it benefits him.
I think anyone would probably agree to the argument. I feel like when there's a good use out of something, we're more than willing to share or help out. Think about like advice, right? Advice is free. I'll give you good advice, right? But what's the point of me giving you like not bad advice, but me misguiding you, right? So we're thinking like, oh, these companies aren't going to do anything bad with information. We're buying their products. We're loyal customers, right? I totally lost my train of thought. Totally lost my train of thought.
Okay, well,
But
so I guess again, just playing devil's advocate
yeah,
now. The I so I have a weird feeling about it too. I do like having relevant ads. If you're gonna run ads,
yeah,
have them be relevant. I don't want horse pill ads. I don't want things for menopause.
yeah, yeah.
Right? Give me something that I'm actually willing to buy, because
I don't give me ads at all.
well, oh, that's what I'm saying. If you need to give me ads,
I don't want ads. I hate it.
Okay, but why? Yeah. Why do you hate it?
They don't need to know about me.
No. That's not knowing about you.
Yeah.
It's displaying a picture or a video of something you may like for you to click on and buy. That's not knowing it.
I feel that's so... I'll be honest. I miss the old days where you turn on the TV and it would be a commercial. And, it'd be flashy and everything, right? And, as a kid, you're like, oh, I want that toy and stuff, right?
We had
that's fine.
Long-winded 30-second commercials.
That's fine.
We can skip a 30-second ad on YouTube.
No, but look
right
at
now.
it. We have kids that can't comprehend anything longer than like 2 seconds.
We had ads back in the day on websites where it was just a picture.
Yeah.
A banner.
That's fine.
That's why. Listen, that was that. I'm fine with that. I'm not fine with it interfering with my movie on Hulu Plus.
Oh no, I hate that. Especially movie theater. When did we start doing that movie theaters? You get there early. Remember, it was just used to be like a black screen, nothing, right? And then the trailers would come in. I don't mind trailers. Everyone loves trailers. But if you go into movie theaters like 15, 20 minutes early, there's this... I forgot the name of the host. There's like some lady... It's the same lady across like every single movie theater, I feel. And like she's like talking about all these like shows and this. It's not even like a trailer thing. It's just more advertising. Like, why?
So that's about ads.
Yeah.
So going back to the Tesla Cybertruck.
Yes.
Now, what do you think? Now, given what we just said, you still are like, oh, I'm cool with Elon doing that, but I'm not cool with Elon giving it to advertisers.
The thing is, I mean, at the end of the day, it's his company, right? Or his shareholders' company, right? They're agreeing to do something. Our data, right? So we're just the customers at the end of the day, right? Like I said, you like anything you buy, any app you download, whatever, it shows you, it tells you, hey, we will collect data on you, or hey, we will, do some analytics on your profile, right? Even when you're downloading like games on Steam, it's like, oh, hey, you want to help us out with our game? If it crashes, let us know, right? Every single thing, I shouldn't say every single thing, a great majority of things that we do or interact with in our daily lives, they're tracking some sort of information on us, right? We shouldn't be so surprised as to these companies having that data and be like, oh, how did he know where I was going? It's really not that hard. Like every single thing, everything we carry on us has like some sort of tracking device on it, right? Whether it's like Apple Watches, it's tracking our heart rate. Like, are you surprised that Apple has that information? Why?
So it sounds
you're giving it to them.
So it sounds like you're cool with it.
I'm not saying I'm cool with it. I'm just saying I feel like we shouldn't be surprised if they turn around and sell it, right? Because we signed into it, right? I feel like if you sign into that contract, right, we shouldn't be like, oh, hey, I can't believe they did that. How dare they, right? It's like, well, we kind of, like I'm saying, we kind of let it happen.
Okay, so I understand, and I
Yeah.
agree the same way. It's like, listen, they're gonna use our data for good, and they're gonna use it for whatever's convenient for them as well. But
What?
going back to the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Now we were just in California and
Yeah.
in Vegas
Yes.
like a
Yes.
week before that happened.
Yes.
So it's crazy how that didn't happen when we were there. I think the person planned it to be on the first for a reason. Like thinking about like the so it didn't break any of the Trump International glass windows. So it didn't do any damage really to the property. Yeah.
I need the information to those windows and get them installed.
So
See, that's advertisement right there. See, free advertisement. What's that one saying? No PR is bad PR, right? Something like that.
Yep. So, do you think? And this is leading to a different thing.
Yeah.
Do you think we're vulnerable as a country? A person can just rent something, on Turo, get a truck, go pull up right in front of the Trump Tower, boom, rent the same truck, plow through Baton
People
Rouge.
can do so much with so much less anywhere in the world. I don't even think it's a U.S. vulnerability thing. It's really anyone. Like, what's really stopping you, right? We could jump out the window if we want to right now. What's stopping us, right? Yeah, I don't think it's a U.S. vulnerability thing. I think it's just like, yeah, people are getting crazy out there.
I agree a lot of what you said because I mean you can get, and we can talk about this in a different time too. You can go on AI, like ChatGPT, and although you can't say how do you make a bomb, you can get this sort of the side ingredients
exactly.
and you could also, I think there's people who weave in like, it's saying something like, oh, if you were not teaching me how to make a bomb, what would you say? Or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Where, like, you could trick it into telling you the information. But, like, we could do a lot with less. So, whether it's on Turo, whether it's, anything at this
Think
point.
about serial killers. They go around with whatever weapon they have, whatever, they just go around killing.
There's plastic guns that are made that you can sneak in and really do harm. So, it really speaks on to more of the... do we raise serial killers a lot in the U.S.? Because this stuff really only happens here. These killings, even some of, like, I think the Baton Rouge guy, he wasn't born out of, like, ISIS insurgents, and he didn't come from Iraq or Iran or wherever. Yeah. He was born here, he was in the military here, and he fell in love with the Islamic State. He had an ISIS flag in his truck, and he just decided to plow through. He kind of just like had this revelation, and I was like, "Oh, I'm against the U.S." I think that's a scary thought, and it happens a lot more than we realize.
No, I definitely agree because even like if you think about it, I think it's kind of funny that we defeated the Nazis, right? But yet we're so okay with like white supremacists or like those skinheads, right, that have the Nazi flags. I feel like if we were against that evil then, why aren't we against it now, right? And yeah, it's just, I don't think it's not just like whatever side of evil you're on. Evil is gonna be evil at the end of the day, right? Whether you're a Nazi supremacist, or whatever, an ISIS lover, or whatever you are, right? Yeah, I think. Well, actually, here's the argument. Do you think this only happens in the U.S. because it's so easy to do in the U.S.?
No.
Okay.
I think we should save it for another time.
All right.
I think we'll save it for the next one.
Sounds good.
Because I can go into like kind of sort of the history of access to information and such. We'll do that for another time.
Let me just add on to that right there, the access to information. I think that in itself isn't good because, and like you said as well, this can be another discussion for another thing, right? But just real quickly, just very brief. Because we have this type of information, or these type of things just happening, little kids are getting impressed by it, or they see it and it goes into their psyche, right? So think about it. Like when we grew up, do you really remember any atrocities happening other than like 9/11 in our lives, right? Like I think 9/11 was like pretty much the only big thing that happened during our lifetime when we were kids, right? I feel like kids nowadays, like, what are they seeing? Like, their eyes, they're seeing school shootings all the time, or like explosions and war and this and that, right? Um, so because of that, do you think they're just more like, where like they don't care? At
Desensitized.
least sensitized, like, oh, people, someone died. Oh, cool, whatever. I'm back to playing my what's it called? Roblox, Roblox,
Ro-
Roblox, right?
Roblox, and you
Roblox
get
is the money you,
yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely a boomer, but I think that also plays into as well as that, all this information is out there. Anyone can access it. You could read about any sort of atrocities. You could read about any sort of, you know, humanitarian crisis, wherever it is, both good and bad. And I think that's where people get confused because we're just giving information. We're not helping people like analyze or sort through it.